great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of disease.
Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 859 of the Immigration Answer Show. How's everybody doing? Today is Saturday, June 28th. I got the day right. I got the episode right. We are trying out some new features here today on StreamYard. So we have a new feature in StreamYard called the Green Room, which allows me to actually chat back and forth with people waiting to come on the show. So that makes it sort of interesting. So we'll see how that goes. I haven't used it before. I played around with it a little bit this morning. I was shooting videos, which is why I'm dressed up. I was not in court today. Ha ha. I wanted to talk to you about something that I made. You know, usually I don't talk too much about the videos that I make on the show, but this one's sort of important. So I want to read a paragraph to you because I've been seeing this paragraph more and more, and I want to make sure that you guys, oh yeah, people need the link. Let me see. Although, okay, so with the Green Room, it allows 25 people into the waiting room instead of 10, which is nice because then I won't get all these, hey, the waiting room is full kind of a thing. But the flip side is not that many people are going to, thank you, Ruben, not that many people are going to be able to get on the show. I mean, it'll be the same amount, but there'll be more people sort of left hanging, I guess. There's the link. Okay, here's the paragraph. Let's go. This is an acknowledgement of a withdrawal of a 485, okay? So an immigrant filed for a green card and the immigrant, I guess the spouse might have withdrawn the I-130 or for whatever reason, the 485 was withdrawn. It says you filed on such and such a date, you applied for adjustment about 10 months later, we received your withdrawal request. Your withdrawal is acknowledged and effective as of this date. Hey, just as a note for people with withdrawals, generally, I'll just read this to you so that you know in case, sometimes those U.S. citizen spouses get mad at their immigrant honey and they send that withdrawal notice because they're mad. And so here's what it says about withdrawals. A withdrawal may not be retracted, appealed, or motioned, whatever that means. Then it cites the CFR. The withdrawal terminates any further action on this application. Okay. Now, here's the paragraph I want to read to you because you might have seen this or you might be seeing it soon. Hopefully not. Inshallah, no, as Amani would say. The evidence of record shows that when you filed your application, you were present in the United States contrary to law. You are not authorized to remain in the United States. If you fail to depart the United States within 33 days of the date of this letter, USCIS may issue you a notice to appear and commence removal proceedings against you with the immigration court. This may result in your being removed from the United States and found ineligible for a future visa or other U.S. immigration benefit, and then it cites the law. So back in February, USCIS said that they're going to change their policies and that from now on, if a case is denied or withdrawn like this one, that accompanying it is going to be a notice that you're subject to removal and encouraging you to leave. Now, the reason I bring this paragraph up and the reason I shot the video today is because I want to make sure that you understand that this is legal advice. This is actually legal advice from USCIS. They are practicing law without a law license, I believe. And, historically, I've always heard people at the front desk at various USCIS offices give bad advice, right? Like I've heard well-meaning perhaps officers give advice that's actually flat wrong and contrary to the law or regulations. Again, I don't necessarily think they were doing it to be mean or tricky. They were just denying the cases or they were just explaining what they thought the answer was, right? But now USCIS is sending this paragraph with anybody whose case is denied and anybody's case who is withdrawn. And so this stuff is factually inaccurate, right? So first of all, USCIS isn't even waiting the 33 days. They're sending the notices to appear even with the denial notice. So the big chunk language in and of itself isn't right. And a lot of people could get this letter and not need to leave the United States. So one of the things that sort of perplexed me in Project 2025 that I didn't really understand and I couldn't see what they were talking about, they said, everybody's going to get a notice to appear. If your case is denied, you're getting a notice to appear. And this is sort of like an interim stage or step towards the notice to appear. So this is sort of part of that policy they're trying to put into place. And I would be like, I said to myself, well, why in the world would they ever send a notice to appear to somebody who got their citizenship denied? Because if your citizenship gets denied, you're still a green card holder. And I couldn't understand it, but now I understand, because we've actually been seeing N-400 denials where they say the person never should have gotten their green card, and therefore they get this letter saying you better get out of here. Now, one thing that's curious in all of these efforts to get people to voluntarily self-deport is they always act like, if you don't do this, it's going to be a lot harder for you to come back legally next time. And I'm like, really? Do you really think you're going to let them back after you've deported them, or they've self-deported, or they've left within the 33 days? Does anybody really think that this is like some added value that, oh, well, if I leave now and I follow the rules and I listen to what they say, they're going to let me right back in? No. Have you ever heard of the 10-year bar? Have you ever heard of the permanent bar? Have you ever heard of the 3-year bar? So this advice that they're giving is all to help with their quotas to deport people and get people to leave, but it's not real advice. It's not good advice. So hopefully, if you get a letter like this, or you get that paragraph, call us or come on the show or talk to some immigration lawyer before you leave, because there might be relief out there to which you're eligible that you don't even know, right? Like, there's this whole concept in removal court called cancellation of removal. Cancellation of removal says if you've been here for 10 years, haven't had any interactions with law enforcement, haven't had any immigration court experience, that you might be able to get a green card, right? If you have a qualifying relative and you can show hardship. So don't believe the hype and don't believe the pipe. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe them when they say that you only have 33 days to depart. You might have another application that's on file that this application doesn't even reference. For instance, you might have an asylum case, your marriage case gets withdrawn or denied, but you still have your asylum case. Again, this is why Uncle Jim always says, don't withdraw your asylum case, even if they tell you to, even if they say, oh, well, I can't adjudicate your 485 unless you withdraw your asylum case. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. I feel like I'm having to educate people on pretty basic stuff. All right. I'm going to go hang out in the people room, in the green room. And ED said that they had some interesting, good news, and we want to hear it. So let's bring them on. Let's see how this works. Oh, now they're in the waiting room, and now they're there. Hello, ED.
Hi, Steve. Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Thank you so much for all you do once again. I spoke to you sometime last week about my case that I had a child negligence case against me, and my
Yeah.
interview was yesterday. So I had my interview yesterday and it went really smooth. It was all good, and I got approved yesterday.
Did it come up?
Yes, but the officer said, oh, we see that the case was dismissed. Well, it's not something that would make you not inadmissible. So I'm going to go ahead and approve your green card.
Awesome. Well, I hope that's true, and I hope they approve it, and I hope that you get it soon. Please let me know when you actually receive it, because one of the other videos I made this morning is officers are making these grand promises, and I'm not trying to make you sad or anything, but we're seeing a real delay in actually receiving the green card. So hopefully it'll sail right through. Let me know, okay?
Okay, I checked the portal this morning and I saw it was approved.
Great. That's good news. So that means it really is approved. Good news. All right. Well, thanks so much, and stay in touch.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, the green room worked. I guess the green room is where you go before you go in the studio. I guess that's how this is going to work. So Now there's some private chat going on. I got a whole other thing now. Okay. Let's see. All right. So Borith wants to talk about the I-130. Let's find Borith. Oh, no, that's to start a conversation with. So I can chat individually with the people in the waiting room. It's actually pretty cool. All right. So Borith, nope. How do I do this? Let's see. Hopefully I'll get faster at this. I think I will. No, I don't want to call Borith. How did I do that? I just did it. Oh, that's private chats. Oh, I got to go to people. Okay, cool. Here we go. Into the waiting room goes Borith, and onto the show. Hi, Borith.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you, Jim, for taking my call.
Sure.
Okay. I have a couple questions. The first one is one good friend of mine. He's applying for the fiance visa. Now the I-130 and everything going through good, already approved. But his fiance went in an interview but got denied. And until now, I believe was back in January, we haven't received any letter back from the USCIS yet. Um, now we actually working with a lawyer right now, but the question is, should we proceed with the appeal on the case, or should we redo the to be a spouse instead? What is your opinion?
So I'm a little confused because you keep bouncing back and forth between I-1. You keep bouncing back between fiance and I-130. So what is?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, he applying as a fiance, like
So
right from the beginning.
Okay. So this is a U.S. citizen who has a spouse that's overseas, right?
Yes, from Cambodia.
Okay. And the U.S. citizen filed an I-129F and it got denied?
It went through until the interview at the U.S. Embassy back in Cambodia.
Okay.
That's when they
what happened?
deny. They said deny. They said they're going to send the case back to the U.S. But until now, he haven't received any notice from the USCIS yet.
Okay. So if you had to guess, or what happened at the interview, like why do we think this case was denied the visa was denied?
What I understood, what she told me, I believe because they didn't believe that is a like they thought it's a not a real fiance, like a real future wife, because they met it really early. Because he went down to Cambodia, we introduced them to each other. They get to know each other. They talking for a couple months, and they decide to move forward. And he's applied, I think, 3 months after they met each other.
So that was my question. So here's a good question for you, Borith.
Yeah.
How many days before he filed the I-129F had they been in each other's physical presence? In other words, they were in the same city on Earth. How many days altogether?
About a month, because he went down to visit Cambodia. That's when we introduced them, since we know my wife. The girl is my wife's cousin, and the guy is our group, because we have like a donut shop community. So we know each other really well. So we think they both could match for each other. So we introduce them. They get to go on a date. They kind of spend a lot of time together. So they get to know each other for that whole month.
Have either of them been married before?
A friend of ours had married, but they got divorced back in 2015.
And was that marriage how he became a U.S. citizen or no?
Yeah, his wife sponsored him 2005. I think they got married for 10 years. They lived together, and then after 10 years, they just don't get along with each other. So they both get divorced and do the final paperwork.
And is there an age gap between the fiancés?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Sure. Is there an age gap between the fiancés?
10 years.
Okay.
Different.
So when did they when was it that they met and got engaged? Like how long ago was that?
Back in the beginning of January 2024. That's when they first met face to face.
Okay. And since then, has our U.S. citizen hero gone back to Cambodia to meet with her?
Yeah, he went back in December, the end of November and December last year, 2024.
And
But
how
he
much?
did not go when his wife have a interview because he have a donut shop here. He couldn't leave.
That's okay. I like donuts. He can send me some donuts as thank you. So there've been 2 trips for him to see her altogether.
Yes.
Okay. So here's what I want to happen. Okay. Either he goes back over and visits with her for another 2 weeks or 3 weeks if he can, and then comes back, and then goes back again later and gets married then. Or he goes back now and gets married and files an I-130 petition. This fiance case is going nowhere. It should not be appealed. They should get married, and they probably need help because now they have a denial on the fiance. So, they're saying, now if we go back ahead, a year from now, if he's been to see her one more time, so that's 3 visits, then it becomes much more believable. And sometimes I think they just deny the fiance case to see how strong the relationship is.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the deal.
Oh, okay. So it should just wait, don't appeal it. Just meet a couple of times, give more time to gather the evidence and apply I-130.
If I really got to be in charge and wave my magic wand, I'd have him go over, like you said, he just went in December, January. So I'd have him go over like in August for 2 weeks. Then I'd have him go back again. They could plan the marriage and get married in December or January. That's what I would do, and then file. It's going to be a much stronger case.
God, yeah. Okay, sounds good. Thank you for that. Now I have one more question. This is a case of the other person. It just I'm not sure. She's right now the American citizen want to apply for a Cambodian girl also. But now the case of Cambodian girl, she used to. There is another fiance of her before back. I think 4 or 5 years ago. Put in an like the fiance type also. But while the case process, he just disappeared. The case never go anywhere. It never got approved. He doesn't know where he is. The guy just disappeared. Now she's just wondering, is that an option for her with this new fiance that to get married? They want to do the spouse case, the I-130, but can she still do it since the case before never closed or anything like that?
See, that sucks. I hate it when there's these lingering old cases out there. If I were her, what I would do is I would do a Freedom of Information Act request, and try to track down that case. I would also try to find you and one of your donut buddies to find that ex-husband and ask him, ex-fiance, and ask him to withdraw it, and then I would do it.
Oh, we don't know who that person is. We're a friend of the girl, and the girl doesn't know who he is.
She knows who it is.
No, I mean we cannot track him. He doesn't know where he is. He just disappeared. Never answered the phone. Doesn't know. So.
Yeah, well, but there's ways to find people, Boris. There's people who you can hire to find people.
Oh, okay. Doing that out. Got you.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the call.
Okay, thank you so much, and appreciate all what you do. Thank you.
Lots of good questions. I wish I had some more Cambodian clients. I would like to go to Cambodia. Andrew went to Cambodia, and my clients that we've had so far from Cambodia have been very nice to work with. So, all right. I'm going to go over to TikTok. 601A waiver got denied. What would be quicker, submitting another 601A or joining the military? Sadly, probably joining the military. You don't need to keep posting it, Sonia. Just one time is good. Can I renew my 10-year green card through I-90 even if I haven't done taxes for some years before? Yes, you can. You don't have to show proof of taxes in order to renew your green card. Oh, I'm liking this studio stuff. Okay, I have Nico in the waiting room, and I'm going to pull Nico up. Hello, Nico.
Hello, Jim. Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, Jim. I have a complicated situation here. I've overstayed my visa for over 5 months. I mean, almost 5 months. But I just got married yesterday, and my wife is a U.S. citizen.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Jim. We've been knowing each other for over a year and a half. We have all the pictures, hundreds of them. I have the record of our marriage counseling sessions and all that kind of stuff. So it's a real marriage. But I'm not happy, Jim, because my wife instantly regretted the marriage and she wants to cancel it right away on Monday when the courthouse opens. She is not like she's been into depression, like she has her own issues.
Yeah.
But you know, she has lots of traumas that's affecting her. She doesn't know that if the marriage is going to end up like her parents and her grandparents, that is divorce. She also has an abusive mother who doesn't want her daughter to spend time with anybody else. Not just me, but also her friends and her grandma. And my wife's been living with her mom for all her life. And I'm worried, Jim. I don't think this thing can be canceled. I don't know if this can work. And I also don't think my wife would file a divorce. But at the same time, you know, I'm going along with this roller coaster with, you know, all the push and pulls because her, you know, mental stress or depression. I don't think she is an abusive person, but like the actions that she has done, and especially her mom, like her mom has, you know, come to our house just because, you know, her daughter spends a day or two with me, you know. Her mom's gonna kill her after she finds out her daughter is married. Her mom doesn't know yet, but her mom can also I think her mom's gonna report me to ICE. According to my wife, like she's gonna do something really crazy. How can I protect myself in this situation, Jim?
All right. So where are you from?
China, born and raised.
And when did you come to the United States?
2014, but my last entry was 2019.
And what kind of a visa did you have?
I had a student visa.
And are you still in status?
No, I'm not. I have overstayed for 5 months.
And how did you meet this person?
I met her at church, basically.
Okay. And how old is this person?
She's 35. I'm 29.
Okay. And you've met her family?
I have met all her family. I mean, she doesn't, her father was never in the picture, but I still met her father. And I met her mom for many, many times, but she hates me.
Why?
As I said, she doesn't like her daughter to spend time with, you know, with anybody. For example, she would, like, her mom would go to her workplace and talk to her manager because, you know, she spends a day with me. You know, she would scream at my dad's face, you know, because her daughter spends time with me. So that's the way she is. You know, she's very hurt deeply inside, but also, you know, she's hurting me and my family as well. You know, I have a family here. My stepfather is a U.S. citizen. You know, my mom's a green card holder, and we live here.
What questions do you have? I mean, if I didn't say it already, I'm very sorry that this sounds very troubling and sounds like a very dysfunctional family.
Yeah, it is kind of dysfunctional, and my wife has been affected by this, and she has lots of trust issues. We love each other, but, you know, I'm hurt, and she's thinking about cancel this right away. I don't know if this is going to work, and I don't know what's going to happen. She might sponsor me, she might not. I'm not sure. This kind of situation, is there a way that I can protect myself? My
No.
mom, not really.
Your ass is in the wind. There's nothing that you can do if she's not going to play ball. I mean, okay, so there's Jim, the immigration attorney, and then there's Uncle Jim. Who do you want to hear from first?
Uncle Jim, please.
Okay, so Uncle Jim would say, my son, my nephew, you need to get away from this family. You need to accept that offer for an annulment on Monday. You need to quietly get away from these people as quickly as you can. Nothing good is going to happen with this relationship. Nothing.
I see.
This is, I mean, so that's not even immigration. Just if you were my son and you were telling me these things, I would say, you know, you're always worried about telling your son this because sometimes it pushes them to the person. But this sounds like a lifetime of headache and heartache and sadness.
I think you might be right, Jim. My family told me the same thing, but I allow my emotions to overcome my logics because I do love my wife.
Sure, I get that. Immigration Jim says that you need to. I mean, you don't want mom dropping a dime on you, not these days, and you don't you don't want to put an application on file because that raises your hand and says that you're here. I mean, if you guys got married on Friday and on Monday she applied for you, even the application process itself would be torture because you'd be up and down this roller coaster and you'd be wondering at any minute, is she or her mother going to withdraw this case? Or if you say, let's not tell mom and go ahead and apply, I mean, that's its own mess because then they go knock on mom's door and she's like, what are you talking about? They're not married.
Yeah.
So it would just be, I mean, I don't know how long, Nico, you've watched this show, but we hear these stories all the time. This is going to be a terrible emotional roller coaster that most likely is going to end in an erratic spouse withdrawing, sabotaging, or sinking the case. So from an immigration standpoint, you need to run, not walk away from this. And then from an emotional and life situation, seems like you care about her very much. But I mean, I would say there are plenty of fish in the sea, my brother, and you got to move on.
I see what you mean, Jim. Would that hurt, would the divorce or the annulment hurt my record, immigration-wise?
Well, I mean, yeah, it does, but that's okay. It's better. An annulment would be better than a divorce, and an unfiled case would be better than a filed case. And I mean, to me, Nico, you seem pretty credible. So if you tell me this story, well, we got married on Friday, and then over the weekend she freaked out when we get annulled, and I said, okay. I mean, I think that, you know, the problem is when you're out of status and you get married, and then if you end up falling in love with someone else who does want to sponsor you, that it makes it look like you're someone who's just getting married to get a green card because now you've done it twice.
Right.
But that's why I think making the least of this case is actually better than getting it started and, you know, having your name out there and all that stuff.
Right. So it's better, as you said, it's better to not file to get more trouble, to get me into this deep water instead of filing for this, you know, green card or, you know, just to gamble. Is that correct, Jim?
From an immigration standpoint, this case is not going anywhere.
I see. What about VAWA? I did some research. Would I be qualified for it?
Did she beat you? Did she hit you? Did anything happen?
No, my wife is a kind person, but as I said, her behaviors, her actions, her freaking out, her mom coming to our house and all these, I mean, it's really emotional. It takes a toll on me and my family for sure.
Nope. Not a VAWA case.
I see.
And again, it's not a VAWA case, and you don't want to be tied to her immigration-wise, I don't think.
I see. Just, okay, I see what you mean. Okay, Jim. Uncle Jim, thank you very much for your advice.
See you, buddy. Hang in there. I'll be thinking about you, okay?
Thank you.
You got it. All right, that was Nico. In the waiting room, I have Joni, Smiley Me, and Andressa. So we'll get to them. Let's take a poor Nico. That was sad. Let's see what's going on. Nina has a question. Can I still submit my I-130 online if I already filed my 45 and 765 through the mail? That's backwards, sister. You can't file a 45 without an I-130 already on file. The I-130 has to go first. So that's a problem. All right, I'm going to go to Joni, and then I'm going to show you something very, very disturbing. It was an ICE arrest yesterday. I think it was yesterday in LA. I don't know if everybody wants to watch it. You might not want to watch it. It's very, very disturbing. But we'll do that after we talk to Joni. Nurse Laura says it's sad the family's awful to him. I can't tell you how many cases I've had where it's not so much the spouse, it's the family. That's why I sort of asked what age she was, because, you know, I think one of the most dysfunctional things out there, and one of the greatest things a parent can do, is separate from their children. I think a lot of parents have a hard time separating from their children. It sounds like maybe part of that's going on right there with that lady going to work and being mad that she's talking to a man and all that stuff. But I've seen families like try to force people to work, try to, get involved in every case. I remember we had the guy who was complaining to me about how involved his in-laws were in his and his wife's marriage, but they lived with them. That was sort of where they chose to live, was with the mom and dad. And I just think one of the best pieces of advice I ever got when we got married was, keep your families separate, the family of origin and the family of your wife, and never the twain shall meet. I mean, they can go out to dinner, but no reason to be talking about life stuff with each other. Let's go to Joni. Hello.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I am good. Thank you for all you do, sir. Appreciate you. I've talked to you about 2 weeks ago on Saturday about filing. I had a I-129 for a fiance that got travel ban, affected by the travel ban. So we're getting married because I like your advice. You advised me to get married.
Yeah.
So the situation I have right now is my fiance lives in Germany, and they told us once we submit everything, there's a waiting of about 4 months before we can get married. So I'm entertaining the idea of getting married through the Utah marriage. Obviously, I want to go there. I'm going to go there, get married, get all the documents, and then file. I just want to take your advice.
I view my first and foremost job, Joni, to take away reasons for them to say no.
Okay.
And I think the Utah online marriage is a real easy way for them to mess around or delay people. So if you can, I'd encourage you to just go through the right process and either get married in a different country or just do it in the 4 months that it takes.
I see. Okay. And okay. Well, I'll do that, sir. One last question. Since I have that fiance case ongoing, once I'm ready to file, do I need to submit to withdraw the fiance case, or I just go ahead?
No, I would say once you get married, you send them the marriage certificate, tell them that you're married. I would file the I-130, get my receipt notice back, so they hopefully tie the cases together.
Okay.
Say, I, Joni, hereby wish to withdraw my fiance case. We went ahead and got married. Here's our marriage license, and here's my I-130 receipt notice. We're going to go that route.
Perfect. Appreciate you, Jim. Have a good day.
Peace, brother. All right. I'm going to add one more person to the waiting room. I wanted to ask if they get a notice when they get moved from the green room into the studio. I don't know. It's all so crazy. Maybe I'll ask Smiley Me when we come back. Okay, so let's go to the video. Again, this is pretty upsetting stuff. I'm going to show it to you. I'm not going to have much to say about it. I've already watched it, and it made me very, very sad. This is on Instagram, and it's a Persian Iranian Christian pastor who's watching ICE take a man and a woman into custody out on the street with some pretty terrible ICE officers. So watch it at your own peril. I will turn on the sound. And let's see, are we all set? Okay.
You can record. Stay back a couple feet.
No, I want to know. I'm his pastor.
He has no warrants, right?
For what?
Being arrested for information.
He's asylum seeker.
It doesn't matter, sir. We're just following orders. He's got a warrant.
He came with CP1. Why you're doing this?
It's no longer valid anymore. That's why. Hey,
Why? What?
please.
Can I have his stuff?
No, yeah, phone. Yeah. No, he can't have it. Yeah, only my phone.
Where you're taking? Can I follow you?
No, only. What are you taking?
What?
Hold on, give me just a second.
Why you're taking him?
Nah,
Boro اشکال نه. Boro tu. Why are you doing this? 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 Why are you doing this?
You want to be arrested as well? You'll be under arrested.
Yeah, I'm U.S. citizen. Arrest me.
Don't get closer. Stay there. Stay there. Stay back.
Let him go.
Stay there. Stay back.
She's bad.
Stay there.
Let her go.
Stay there.
Let her go.
You don't stay there, you're gonna be arrested for
She's
interference.
sick. She's sick.
You're gonna be arrested for interference.
She's sick. I'm here. She's sick.
Stay there.
She's bad. Call 911. Call 911. She's bad. She has a problem. My God, you're. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? They came from persecution, from dictatorship. I'm from Iran. I'm from Iran. You're so cruel. So cruel. Have you read the news? Have you read the news? I was in prison for my faith. They're there in Iran. They're from Iran. You know, we fled because of our faith. Can you take me with them? They need me.
No, sir.
They need me.
You can stay there and you can record, but you can't go with us, okay?
مرجان اوکی میشه. اوکی میشه مرجان جان. I know you're doing your job. But my heart is just... Seriously, you all guys came for one person?
What is her name?
Marjan. Seriously. Only 2 people is enough. What's this? It's the army here.
Security, sir.
It's the army.
It's
Like 2 people. Have you read the news what's happening in Iran? For women? They came here for freedom, not like this. Shame on you. I know you're doing your job, but shame on you. Shame of this government.
Isn't that upsetting? It's so upsetting. Cruelty is the point, Raphael said. Nurse Lara wonders, are they even ICE? No way to tell, of course, because they're cowards and they hide behind masks and no name tags and wearing jeans and LA Dodgers hats. I'm sure the Dodgers appreciate that. Dean says, this video just makes me very, very sad. Me too. I was actually really choked up when I watched it earlier today. Very upsetting. Natalie says, this will be shown in history classes in the future. This is our history now. ICE is off the chain. They're arresting U.S. citizens. They're arresting brown people for being brown. It's absolutely reprehensible. Where's Congress? Nowhere. All right. So on that happy note, we're going to go to Smiley Me. Hello, Smiley.
Hi, Jim.
How are you doing?
Doing good. That video just triggered me a little bit.
I'm sorry. Let's try to change it up a little bit. But I want people to see what's happening. I want people to understand. I mean, we're not going to talk about it all the time, but I do want people to understand.
Yeah, so my story is I'm due to apply for my citizenship. However, before I got my green card, I was sent a notice of intent to terminate my asylum. They accused me of fraud and all these other things. Like, it was a list of so many things. So I went ahead for the interview, and then that was in 2019. And in 2021, I did receive my green card. Now I'm eligible to apply for citizenship, but I'm still on the fence about it because I'm not sure, will they bring back that case? I mean, accusing me of fraud, even though they had given me a green card. So I spoke to another lawyer who advised me to wait until this whole administration is done. But again, other people are telling me to apply. So I just wanted to hear from you what you would advise me in this situation. because I don't have any criminal history, nothing at all in my records.
What was the basis for the green card that you received? It wasn't from the asylum case?
Yes, it was from the asylum case.
So you received asylum in the United States from a judge or from the asylum office?
I received from the asylum office in 2010.
And do you have any idea what in the hell they were talking about when they sent you the notice of intent to deny your green card, when they talked about fraud or misrepresentation?
So I blame that on myself. I kind of messed up on some dates, and they were accusing me of inconsistencies with the dates, and which kind of like messed up my green card application. So that
you did your green card application without a lawyer?
yes, I did it myself, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Okay. So and did you say they sent you that notice after your interview or before your interview for your green card?
They sent me the notice before I received my green card.
So did you have an interview?
Yes, it was about 5 hours long, a very intense interview.
So so I'm still not clear. Was the notice to deny before your interview or after?
The notice of intent to terminate, it was before the interview.
I gotcha. Okay. And when you went for your green card interview, were they rehashing a lot of the stuff from your asylum case?
Yes, it was 100% everything from my asylum case. So it was like having to do my asylum interview all over again. Just that this time round, it took like 5 hours as opposed to the last time, which took like 1 hour.
Wow. Wow. So do you know, it probably wasn't, but do you know if that 5-hour interview was recorded?
I think it was. I don't remember.
Okay. So before we apply for citizenship, I would, if I were you, and even I would say even before we decide whether or not to apply for citizenship, I would do a Freedom of Information Act request for your entire asylum file, your entire green card file, for a copy of that interview if it exists. And then I would compare I mean, ultimately you must have convinced them that it was all real, but obviously that was also under a different administration. So I'm leaning right now, Smiley, to not apply for citizenship and just letting things rest based on the things I've been seeing lately and based on a 5-hour green card interview, which was longer than my asylum interview. Most likely I'm going to tell you to wait, but if you do a Freedom of Information Act from USCIS and ask for all those things that I just mentioned and they send them to you, if you want to send them to me, I can look it over and let you know if I think you should apply for citizenship.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Thank you so much.
Bye, Smiley. See ya.
Thank
you. Got it. I forgot to ask her if she got any kind of alert. I'll ask Andressa in just a second. So I'm going to go to Andressa and then the Wiz. Laura says she doesn't think the lady was having a seizure because she was screaming, and people can't scream like that during a seizure, a panic attack. Yeah, it was so upsetting to watch. She kicked her shoes off. I bet those guys feel real tough and go out and have a steak and a beer after work. Aren't they great? Shouldn't we be proud of the way our tax dollars are being used, the way we're bullying people who are coming from persecution? Think life's easy for Christians in Iran? Are you effing kidding me? As I said to my friend, I have a pastor who's a friend who's a pastor, Christian, very good guy, also has a great name, James, in LA. And I sent that to him. I wanted to make sure he saw it. And we were talking about how Christian Iranians get it coming and going. They get it from Iranians for being Christian. They get it from the United States for being Iranian. It's bad news. Okay. Andressa, before I start, did you get any kind of notification that I was moving you from the green card into the studio? Hello? Andressa, are you there?
Hi. Good day.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. Thanks, Erickson.
did you find out did it say that you were in the green room or that you were going into the studio? Did you get any kind of notices about that? I'm just trying to figure out how the software works. All right. We're going to go to the Wiz. Hello, Wiz.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah. Before we get started, can you help me? Did they tell you when you're going in the green room? Did it tell you when you're going in the studio, or were you just waiting the whole time, waiting for me to call you?
It shows we're in the green room, and then when you're done in the green room, when you moved us into backstage, it'll tell you like you're up next.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you, Wiz. How can I help you?
So, my husband came here on a student visa, and in 2015, 2016, he applied for asylum. Heard nothing from anyone, and he and I met in 2020. 2021, we got married, applied for the green card in 2024, and got approved in early 2025. And now we got a letter from the asylum office for an interview. And the interview is a few weeks away. We followed all your steps and sent them notification that we got the green card, that, we can withdraw the asylum case. We've heard nothing. And we even got a confirmation back from them that they got it. But the case hasn't been withdrawn. We've been checking every day and nothing's happened. And the interview's coming up in about 2 weeks or so.
Which asylum office are we talking about?
Houston.
Houston. Okay. The Houston Asylum Office has an email address that's publicly available, I think. If not, if you can't, try to find, like, they actually, unlike a lot of USCIS things, there's actually an actual asylum office email address for each asylum office. If you can't find it, send me an email, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Say, this is the Wiz. I was on the show Sunday with Jim talking about my husband's asylum case, which is moot. And I need the Houston Asylum Office email address, and then we'll find it for you and send it to you. But try first to find it yourself, okay?
Okay.
And then you'll just email them. I mean, really, are you far from Houston?
Not too far.
I mean, I would say that if you don't get any confirmation between now and 2 weeks from now, the actual interview date, I might just show up with my green card and say, look, dipshits, I notified you. I'm a green card holder. I don't need this case anymore. We already withdrew it and you acknowledged receipt. So I don't know why you sent this notice, but really you're trying to do them a favor because they can slot someone in that spot that you have.
Okay. Should we go together or should
I go together? Yeah.
Go together. Okay. Because we never had an interview.
Yeah.
For the green card.
Yeah, he has a green card in his hand. I would just withdraw it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate all your help.
Have a good day.
You as well.
All right. TikTok says, you are amazing. Thank you for everything. Well, thank you, Biba. I'm a permanent resident and want to change my last name while submitting my N400 naturalization. Do it. Just know that it'll slow your case down a little bit because they have to do a background check on the new name, which is so weird. Why you have to do a background check on a new name, but they do. I have a DWI hearing on July 1st. Time I'm permanent resident. Will the new bill that came out affect me? No. But don't drive drunk. There's no reason to drive drunk. And I know this sounds simple. The other day, I had a thought, and Robert's always really good on DWI lecturing, and I appreciate that because there really is no excuse for drunk driving these days. But if you know you're going to go out and drink, why not just leave your keys at home and Uber there? That way you can't drive back. Like, is that a revolutionary thought that I had? I don't know. Gazorp says, Jim, we had our marriage-based interview canceled twice already by USCIS. Should we be concerned? Yeah, I think I would be. I would probably do a little bit of research. Might depend on the beneficiary and if they're out of status or how they got here. If they paroled in or something, might be something like that. Nurse Laura asks, is anyone planning to get any treats this weekend? We went to a place that had Dubai chocolate strawberries last night, and now I can't stop thinking about them. Well, that's fun. We're not doing much. We're going to Denver tomorrow, or Boulder tomorrow. So let's go to Dan. Hello, Dan. Dan, you're up. Dan, are you there? All right, Dan's out of here. It's too bad. I think I can hear him. Let's go to a quick question. Hello.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. So,
what can I help you with?
my question is my question is about my son. He came to the United States in 2019. He was a permanent. He has his green card. He came with his tenure, and in 2020, he came back to Jamaica. He went back to Jamaica, and I think he spent like 8 months. At the time, I wasn't knowledgeable about all of this, but now he's 18, and I wanna file for his citizenship. Do you think that will affect him?
Yes. Where is he right now?
He's in the U.S. From that time when he spent the 8 months, he hasn't left the U.S. He came back and has been here since.
So you're a U.S. citizen?
No, I'm not. I'm a green card holder.
Okay. So when someone who has a green card leaves the United States for more than 6 months, they are presumed to have abandoned their residency. So for purposes of citizenship, when you are gone for more than 6 months, it breaks your residency and you have to start over. You have to wait 4 years and 1 day from the day after you came back from that trip.
Oh, okay. And then that would make it easier to get the citizenship?
Yeah. Now, technically, he could apply, but he'd have to show that he didn't abandon his residency. He'd have to show like he still had a job, he still had property. And if he's that young, I think it's going to be very, very hard to show. So I think the best thing to do would be to wait, to not have any more trips more than 6 months, and then to wait 4 years and a day from the date he came back on that 8-month trip.
Okay, and that's the other thing too. I'm I'm just saying it's 8 months. I can't really remember how long it was because it was like he was a sickly child, so he was going through a lot.
Sure.
But,
It's 6 months. 6 months. Well, actually, I'll say it's 183 days. So if he's gone for more than 183 days, then that breaks the clock.
okay. But the other thing is I'm trying to look up his I-94, and when I put his passport number in, it's like they're saying no results.
Yeah, they probably won't have one because he's a green card holder.
Oh.
Green card holders don't really get I-94s. What you'll need to do is track down the travel records from the airline, and then you got to, it's your burden to prove it. So you'll have to prove when he came back. So that return ticket is really important.
Okay. I'd have to try and get that.
Yep.
I'll do my research.
Awesome. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. Now, I have to take this person. It says worried and complicated. Hello.
Hi, Jim. Thank you for picking me.
Sure.
Okay, I have a question. I'm a little nervous right now. My husband entered to US as a tourist visa and later married to US citizen, which is me. Our one I-30 petition has been pending for the last 28 months. 6 months ago, he was detained by ICE without prior notice, spent 20 days in detention. He was released on bond with GPS monitoring. He's Iranian. And he also, our attorney, he changed because the 1-830 takes so long being detained. He put an asylum case, which is apply here for asylum case on September 2026. Now he's worried he's going to be detained again, and I don't know what we can do. We apply for mandamus to another attorney, and he says it's going to take at least 2 months from now on.
So
I appreciate your guidance if you can.
So are you a U.S. citizen?
Correct.
And how did your husband enter the United States?
Legally, use tourist visa.
Okay, and then was he out of status?
No, we got married when he was in status.
And you filed for adjustment?
Adjustment 1I-30, which has been 28 months.
But did you also file a 45 or just the I-130?
Later. Meantime, like few months later, we got the apply for 180 for 85. Yes, we applied.
Why did you wait? Why didn't you file them together?
Because who teach us wrong. So we didn't have attorney at the time, and from that moment, all the nightmares started.
Well, who taught you wrong?
One friend.
Okay, so at the time that ICE took your husband into custody, was the 485 on file?
Correct.
Why did they take him into custody?
No explanation. Just 3 weeks later, after all the background checks again and all that DNA tested, he say he's not. He's clean. So
DNA testing? Did you say DNA
Yes.
testing?
Correct.
Who did DNA testing?
The detention, they did everything just because he's Iranian. He's Iranian, correct?
This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, everybody said the same thing. We, like I said, we have two attorneys. The second one, we try to do the mandamus for 1I-30 to find out what's going on. But meantime, he's scared anytime, any moment he's gonna get deported.
What's up with the mandamus lawsuit?
The attorney, he said it's gonna take 2 months. So we're gonna have to wait 2 months.
Yeah, I think you're just waiting.
2 months takes long for filing.
Takes 2 months to file or 2 months to get the response? I'm confused a little bit.
So when someone hires my firm to file a lawsuit, we usually get it on file within a week or 10 days at the most. Then
Okay.
once it's on file, you send a copy of the lawsuit to the defendant, the government defendants here, USCIS, and you say, hey, we're getting complicated. It's I-130 and her husband's 45. Well, the I-130 has been pending 26 months or whatever to 23 months, and the 45, whatever it is, 18 months. And we need to get these things decided. He's never received a notice to appear, right?
No.
Okay. So yeah, I would sue them. I mean, if it's taking your lawyer to 2 months to file a lawsuit, it means they don't know what they're doing. So hire a different lawyer to do your payment. If you're telling me it takes 2 months to get it on file, that's nuts. That should not happen.
This should not happen. But meantime, I mean, let's say nothing happens with 1I-30. In September 2026, he has asylum case also, like I said.
You will have a decision. You will have a decision before September 26th on the I-130 and the 485. Wait, what's in 2026 though?
Asylum case pending.
Asylum case at the asylum
Court
office.
hearing in September 2026.
So he does have a court hearing. So your husband is in removal proceedings.
Yes, yes.
Okay. This is so fucked up. The I-130 needs to get adjudicated, and then you need to try to terminate proceedings. But this is another reason why you have to file the I-130 and the 485 together. Filing the I-130 gave your husband no protection, and now the 485 is separate, and now the 485 is under the jurisdiction of the court. So you need to sue to get the I-130 adjudicated. Then once it's adjudicated, you notify the court, and you say, hey, court, do you want to have a hearing in September 26 on whether he gets his green card, or do you want to terminate proceedings to let him go get his green card from USCIS?
Okay. In 2 months, he has a ISAP interview.
Yeah, and they might take him back into custody. I don't know what they're going to do. They're trying to deport as many people as possible.
Even he has a court case on 26. Doesn't matter.
I don't want to freak people out, but I was reading a story from an attorney the other day in Baltimore. Their Iranian client was on the stand testifying as to why he needed asylum, and in the middle of the trial being run by Homeland Security, different Homeland Security officers came and took him into custody. So this whole thing was handled very wrong from the get-go.
Okay, so anything can happen, just only God knows.
Get the goddamn mandamus on file.
Okay, if no, we're gonna have to change the attorney then.
Yeah, well, we can get it on file next week. Get it done.
Okay, so we should your email, I guess. I'll find it on the website.
Right there at the bottom of the screen. info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. It's right there.
Now, perfect. Thank you so much for your help. Thank you.
Have a good day. Wow. Shit's getting real, motherfuckers. Shit's getting real. They ain't playing. As terrible as they are and as bad as we make them look and as bad as it is, what's also true is everyone's got to be a whole lot more serious about what they're doing. A whole lot more serious about what they're doing. I'm going to go to Andre. Hello, Andre.
Good afternoon, Mr. GM. Happy Saturday.
Same to you, my friend.
Hey, I have a question regarding of my case. Long story short, I came in 2010 like a J1 visa student.
Okay.
I've applied for asylum after year and a half, which it was the first mistake which I've made it. And then in about 3 years and a half, almost 4 years, it was case denied 2 times and then sent it to the 7th Circuit Court, which it was denied to.
It was denied. It was denied because you filed more than a year after you arrived?
Yeah, this is the one. This is the one problem which they put it on the paper because it was kind of 30 papers explanation why they deny it, and also because they didn't believe it on my case on asylum.
So 2 reasons.
Yeah, and then I got married in 2017, which I'm still married with US citizen. We have one child, which is almost 6 years old. We applied for I-130, which it was approved. After like 2 years and a half, it was approved. And then we applied with a different lawyer for termination of removal, which it was denied. We then applied with the other lawyer who says we have to go to motion to reopen the case. Maybe we'll go that way too, which again it was denied. And at the end, after new administration came, the lawyer which I used to work says, look, I cannot do anything in this case because it's a federal law and you have to stay quiet, something like that, and just to stay at home because this is the situation, because you have a order for removal, and even if you do other kind of the application, they will get it. It will be like a easy catch for this new administration, which I'm kind of lost, and I want to find out answers. What is the best way for me and my family to fix this issue? But I'm still, lost.
So where do things stand right now? The asylum case is over. The I-130 has been approved. The 485 is pending where?
485, it's sent it order. To be honest with you, I got the FOIA request information. They sent it to me like about 2 months ago, and it's a lot of paper over there because I've requested all file.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I'm still lost over here. I did talk with a couple lawyers. They told me, look, I cannot do in this situation anything, and you have to wait.
Well,
or
wait.
Maybe.
So when you put in has the 485 been adjudicated or not?
I think no, because I didn't have any positive reply back after we applied for the motion to reopen or to termination of the case. It didn't was.
I gotcha.
Even yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Can you send me the FOIA?
Yeah, I can do it. It's not a problem.
Yeah, email me the FOIA. I'll look at it on the plane tomorrow, and I'll let you know what I think. Okay. How long ago?
Okay.
How long ago did you file the motion to reopen?
Motion to reopen, it was filed like 2 years and a half ago. I would say probably almost 3 years. And
you filed it with the district, with the EOIR or the Court of Appeals or the BIA? Or
with the Court of Appeals.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Send it over. I'll take it all. I'll look at it. Okay.
So the email, do you want me to send it? It's Jim at Hacking Immigration.
That's my real email, but that's secret. You're not supposed to tell people. Yes, that's my email.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Andre. I'll talk to you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. I'll be back Monday. Monday, probably 11 a.m. Central. Trying to finagle a few things, but we'll see. Probably 11 a.m. Central on Monday. I hope you guys all have a great night and have a good weekend. Big ups, Donna, and to all the Yardies. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks, Laura, for being here. Thanks, everybody, Robert and UFAM and all my friends, Whistling. I like the green room. I think we'll keep doing that. That makes life easy. Yeah, we'll have fun in Boulder. I think we're going to inner tube. There's like a creek, and people do inner tubing, so that would be fun, I think. And we don't want to do the whitewater rafting. My friend's wife got her face shattered whitewater rafting, so I'm a little bit skittish about that. And Amani is not a strong swimmer. So anyway, hope you all have a great night and weekend, and we'll see you Monday. Bye, guys. Oh, hey, leave us a review if you can. Reviewhackinglaw.com. Thanks. Bye, guys.
I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.